Hey, welcome back to the Think Bigger Real Estate Show. I'm your host, Justin Stoddard. Very excited to have with me today one of my favorite people on the planet Earth, a mastermind partner, somebody with whom I learn lots. He's somebody who's very brilliant in helping real estate agents have great success in getting maximum value from their database. And so before I go into introducing this amazing individual, I want to remind you that the purpose of this show is to help you think bigger. As a real estate agent, you're under fire from all kinds of different angles now, and all kinds of people are coming for your commissions, and you have to get better. And the show is going to help you think bigger so that you can do the right activities and get the right results so that you can have the kind of impact that you want to have. And that's my passion for you. Let me introduce again today's guest. His name is Cody Martens. He's the owner of Luminary Agent. If you're not following Cody on his various and his multitude of social media platforms, then
all the places,
everywhere, baby, everywhere. He's omnipresent. Luminary Agent is what you want to look for. And again, today we're going to talk about the database. You're going to see down here at the bottom of the screen that you can actually register for a webinar in which Cody, myself, and a best-selling author, Nick Crowder. Nick wrote the book, The Golden Handoff, How to Buy and Sell a Real Estate Agent's Business. We're going to be talking all about database, how to get maximum value from your database and giving maximum value to your database. And even to the point to where your business becomes saleable, to where you could actually sell it, and or you could actually get like double your referral business overnight as a result of acquiring someone else's database. So that's all coming in next week's webinar, January the 29th, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Register below, don't miss it. But in the meantime, Cody and I wanted to talk about database. I know it's something both he and I are passionate about. And Cody, let's you and I have a conversation that we had last week. There's an agent who, an agent approaches you and he says, Cody, I really want to start spending a lot of money on Zillow. I think that's the way to go. What would be your biggest concern with that approach?
Well, there's a few. The first one is that you are spending a lot of money. Like Zillow these days is not cheap. So you're spending a lot of money to be one of many people, one of many agents who are going to try and talk to and secure business from somebody who doesn't know you, doesn't trust you. There's no relationship built there. And so it's a lot of work for a little bit of pay. And the bigger problem too is that you end up getting all of these contacts that you don't ever really get to build a real relationship with. And so it ends up being a numbers game. And so instead of getting quality, you're going for quantity. And I actually spoke to a client who was spending $2,000 a month last year on Zillow Leads. And she said she doubled her money back, but that means that if she spent that $2,000 a month, she was only making $4,000 a month, which I think is not that great of a return when you could do the same thing with a referral-based business and get 5 to 10 times your return, especially if you were spending that kind of money. And not only that, but one of the biggest things she said that's been an immediate change in her business is that she is going deeper with the clients that she does have, and she's really enjoying her job more as a result of that.
So that's the part that I really want to highlight. Again, I love the fact that you got into the math of that a little bit. And 2x the investment seemed like a great reward. I always ask agents the part of the opportunity cost of the time. How much time did you spend following up with leads, right? Mm-hmm. And what if you were to take that same, call it $2,000, and invest it back into your database, and the time that you spent back in your database with like friends, family, sphere, past clients, what would be your return? And not only that, but I think the word that you use when you and I were having this conversation before is that sometimes when you're buying online leads, it tends to be a fairly, do you say frenetic? I love the words, like a frenetic way of building your business. I've been in top agent masterminds, which I host pretty consistently. And one agent in particular who was very Zillow centric, now keep in mind, she's sitting around a table with agents that are, producing north of where she's at, getting some of the like nuggets that would take literally somebody years and years and years to uncover themselves. And she stands up at the middle of the meeting and walks out multiple times to answer calls. And she said, I'm sorry, when these Zillow calls come in, I have to answer. Now, if she's doing that to a bunch of highly respected peers, my guess is she's probably doing it at home as well.
Yeah.
And you've now moved into the role of being an on-call doctor, as opposed, yet without the paycheck attached to being an on-call doctor. And I think, does online leads have a place in people's business? That's for you to decide. But I would just ask you to say, what if I put in this kind of effort and this kind of investment into my database? What would be my return, and what would be my quality of life?
And I think that what you said is important, because can it have a place in your business? Absolutely. Is it a legitimate form of closing transactions? Absolutely.
Yep.
However, it should never be your number one. Your number one should always be your database.
Yep.
And once you are working your database at maximum capacity, then you implement something like Zillow Leads on top of that, right? But only once you have that humming at maximum capacity, should you bring in a second form of lead generation. And the problem that I see with most agents is, because they want that now business, they're flopping that. They're doing the Zillow Leads first because it's quote unquote now business, and they're spending very little time building their referral business. The problem with that is that as soon as you turn off the pipeline for your Zillow Leads, you turn off your business. And because you haven't spent any time building the business of your referrals, that isn't churning out enough that it can then sustain you. If you talk to any agent that has been in the business for more than 5 years, they will tell you that their number one source of business is referrals. And in addition, as it relates to this webinar that we're hosting, having a solid referral-based business is the business that you can sell and then make money from, because it is sustainable, it's repeatable. And when you sell it and give it to somebody else, it continues to provide the same kind of referrals and income that it has been. It's just incredibly more consistent.
Yeah, man, everything you said there is like pure gold flowing off your tongue, buddy. It's just so good. Again, you turn off that Zillow account. If that's all you've done, you turn off that Zillow account and you just turn the lights off to your business, like right behind, like one after the other. I actually spoke with a lender today, and he said, this agent here does a lot of Zillow business. I said, how's her database? And he says she doesn't do anything with it. You get so addicted to the quick money, right? To the quick transactions. But I said, how's her quality of life? And he said, terrible, absolutely terrible.
The problem is that, the other thing too is it might be a quote unquote quick transaction because those people are potentially ready to buy right now. Mm-hmm. But so are plenty of the referrals in your database.
Yeah.
There are plenty of referrals from people in your database that are ready to buy right now. Oh, and by the way, they require little to no trust building. They require little to no, time of getting to know you, and usually you're not competing for that business at all either. It's exclusive business. And they're also much more appreciative of your time and expertise.
Yeah.
And that's just proven. I mean, that's the way it is time and time again. So you may think that something like Zillow Leads or any other kind of cold lead generation is better now business, but I would counter that argument with, at the very least, you should be doing both, because I think there's plenty of now business to be had from a database that has worked correctly.
Yeah.
And the proof is in the pudding there. There are thousands of agents that all of their business comes from from referrals and from repeat customers in their database.
I've had this thought before. When you're going cold market like that, you're having to sell two things at once: the credibility of yourself and now a house. And sometimes that's too much for people to take in all at once. And so the quick answer is to not build a relationship and or to dismiss you quickly, right?
Yeah. They're already freaking out about the home purchase.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want them also freaking out about the person who's guiding them through it.
And so if you they're already sold on you, the fact they can trust you, that your knowledge is good because you've been communicating with your database and educating them and serving them at a high level. Now they're already sold on you. They trust you. Now they want your leadership, right? They want you to help them find that home. And I think that becomes a distinct difference for those that work by referral, is that you're not constantly trying to sell yourself. You're simply serving your community and demonstrating high value, whether it be online and in person, which now gives you that edge to where you don't have to sell yourself. There is some loyalty. You don't have to call them back in 5 minutes. You don't have to go show a home at 7 o'clock on a Sunday night, or you'll lose the deal, or get up in the middle of a top agent mastermind, or with your family, right? In order to go get that, because there's $10,000 sitting on the table, right? Instead, that referral calls you, they'll wait until you're done.
Yeah.
They'll wait until Monday. Why?
Absolutely.
Because the trust has been transferred from the referrer.
Yeah.
So, I know for those that don't know Cody and Luminary Agent, he's not only a great social media presence, but he helps other agents. He actually coaches agents on how to be amazing at social media. He's got systems, he's got tools. He's an outsourced option for people to do social media, but they're not outsourcing your face or your personality. There's just a lot of automation that goes into the part that most agents aren't good at, which is the strategy, the scheduling, all of that components.
I tell people, you're still the star. We just become the director and producer.
That's a great analogy. I love that. So we're going to be talking in our webinar coming up on the 29th of January. We're going to be talking more about that. If by chance you're watching this video after the fact, I would encourage you to stay connected to the Think Bigger Real Estate Show. Even reach out to me, and I may likely have a link that I can share with you of the webinar. But if you're watching this before, you need to sign up. That will give us the ability to interact with you, answer your questions. We're going to have myself, Cody, and Nick Crowder, who are going to be answering questions on how to get maximum value from your database, not only while you're in your business, but as we mentioned, Nick's expertise is helping, is specializing in helping agents to position their business for sale, and we're teaching agents how to acquire someone else's book of business. But keep in mind that if you have not, as Cody mentioned earlier, if you've not properly cultivated and maintained a database, nobody's going to buy a list of old Zillow leads.
You don't have a business to sell.
You got nothing. You got transactions that just close and there is no business. Whereas if there's a database and people are loyal to you, you can actually sell that.
Well, you have to remember with any business, be it real estate or not, the business is really the book of customers who continually and consistently buy from that company. That's the heart of the business. So the same is true for real estate as it would be for a burger joint. You know, it's the customers that really make the difference. And so Nick's a master. I mean, he literally wrote a book on not only how to buy and sell businesses, but how to prepare your business through the years so that when you do get to a point where you want to sell it, or when you want to buy somebody else's business, you know what to be keeping track of and what to look for, how to track the numbers so that it creates, a seamless experience, and so that somebody can look at and actually value the business that they are potentially going to be buying, which is the whole, goal of what the webinar is about, and also ties in perfectly to running your business by referral. So we're really excited about it.
Yeah, it's going to be a fantastic webinar. We don't want you to miss it. So we encourage you to sign up. Again, we've got the link going down here below. HTTP, I'll skip the other part of it, bit.ly/buy or sell a business. Okay, so be watching that crawler, go back and watch it again. And be sure and register. Join us on the 29th of January. Again, starting at 11 a.m. It's going to be awesome. Can't wait to be with you all. Cody, thank you so much for all you've shared and all you do for real estate agents. Again, there's a recognizable difference when you start working with an agent. Agents that were at one point fairly obscure on social media all of a sudden look like social media stars. And you never know that someone, like if I didn't know you and know what you did for them, I would just assume that somehow they magically got amazingly better. And it's them. So to your customers, again, you provide a great value, great service. And thank you for coming on the show today and giving a little bit of a preview of what we're going to be talking about this next week. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Very excited, and thanks for having me.
Of course. My final request of everybody listening in today are 3 simple words. Go think bigger. Let's do it, baby. All right, buddy. Thanks again, Cody. Talk to you soon.
You bet.